that resource?
On the oil sands in Alberta, and how do I see future development going along there. We have to understand that Canada, as a society, as an economy, is successful not just because of the hard work of Canadians across the country, but also because of the rich, bountiful natural resources that are here. We will continue to need to draw off the land, including from our oil sands and our energy resources. But we need to do it with a different mindset going forward than we have in the past. We have to do it with, like I said, a long-term awareness of the consequences of the way we choose to draw from the earth, to be much less wasteful, much less polluting, much more responsible to the generations ahead of us who will be either cleaning up our mess if we do wrong, or profiting from wise, sound decisions that are respectful of the land if we do right. Because for all the success directly in Alberta because of the oil sands, 40% of all the jobs that are direct spin-offs of the oil sands are actually outside of Alberta. But if we must think about the environmental and the responsibilities towards the ecosystems and the land as we continue to prosper from our oil sands, we have to make sure that the way forward includes our First Nations peoples. When I visited the oil sands a number of years ago, I visited the First Nations community near Fort McKay to talk a lot about some of the challenges they were facing. I had the privilege of going up to Great Slave Lake, where there are many concerns about the waters of Lake Athabasca and the impact on the fish in the river and the quality of life. And we have to make sure that we move forward with our First Nations peoples as partners in how we draw from the land and how we build our economy. Not as a party that ignores the other and take advantages, but not as a party that just looks at buying off to shut up our partners, but understanding that the way we build prosperity, jobs, a future, strong communities happens together.
Sounds a lot more reasonable than Tom O'Keefe.
What's that?
Sounds a lot more reasonable than Tom O'Keefe.
Well, Mr. Mulcair is choosing to play the politics of division, whether it was in his Dutch disease comments against the resource economy of the West as a way of trying to gain votes in the East, or whether it was recently him saying that he thinks you can split up this country with a vote of 50% plus one by Quebecers. You're not even allowed to change the constitution of the New Democratic Party. You couldn't change them from New Democrats to Democrats without having a 2/3 majority vote by all members of the New Democratic Party. So the fact that they demand 2/3 of a majority to change their constitution, but only a 50% plus one to rip up the Canadian Constitution, demonstrates that they're in no way qualified to